not too sure how much of this I'm going to be able to make very simple for people, so I'll do my best. I was just thinking, instead of just doing it all myself and trying to help people, I'll just make videos and help people that way. It might be a bit easier. So at the moment you can see I'm somewhat between taking it all off, giving it a good clean out, and finding out where I had a boost leak after yesterday hitting 220 brake fully for the first time in a while after having fuel cuts, and now it doesn't use it. But caused myself a problem somewhere. I think possibly there. It's a leaking boost past something. But in the process, I'll find my problem and show you all of the piping, so you can quite clearly check the health of your turbo. So, a good way to know if this side is healthy is you'll notice all fins are intact, no damages really, no bends, no out of shapeness. It is all relatively nice. And the other way to tell if you've got any problems, so if you'd come across, you'd put your hand, right, let me zoom back out, put your hand inside. Obviously for me it'd be easy if I took this off, but I can't be bothered. So you give it a little wiggle. If you can feel any play forward or backwards, so lateral, that is very bad. If you've got any side-to-side play, that is common to a degree. Any more than a mil or so is classed as sloppy, getting bad. Anything less is tolerance that will be taken up by the oil when it heats up, when it gets to the right I can't think of what the word is, but it's like the thinness level of it, is it thins out, it gets from thicker to thinner, so it allows it to flow and oil properly. Well, that is a very easy way to check your cold side of your turbo. Again, you can do the same with the exhaust as well. Take the exhaust side off, check the exhaust side. Better do both really at the same time. Have one hand on one side, one hand on the other, try and wiggle both. If you have any play really side to side, isn't too bad, but it's lateral play forward and back, that is very bad. Right, so here I am taking off my turbo because I wasn't snap one of my bolts in here, as you can see. I need to take that out. I reckon that's where my boost leak is from, so that's why I am stripping down all my piping and everything else off. At the moment, this one here, exhaust bolt for the V-band is a 16mm long socket. At the moment I'm using a 16mm spark plug socket, works perfectly. Get this off. Right, so here I've undone the turbo. I've left the oil feed and return still attached in there. You can see a little bit of movement. I only need to get enough movement in there so I can remove that broken stud right there. I reckon that was where my leak was coming from. Somewhere between that. As you can see here, got triple plated gasket, because any extra heat you can get away is better. So you can see triple plated. So it doesn't really look like it had been leaking around there really. You'd see a lot of black sootiness, to be honest. So maybe it's just a case of everything all together just needed a bit of a refresh. and extract that broken one. Shall we? That one there. So, gasket's back in. We've got that extracted stud back out. Put another one back in. Now, it's just refitting. But yeah. There you go, got a bit of a good view there. That'll do. So, essentially the same way I've showed here. You're right. You can take off the turbo manifold here to get to the gaskets, replace the gaskets. Same for exhaust side. And change that all through here too. Nice and simple way to get to it all too. Yep, that's good. Two studs seated nicely. So obviously now it's just the rest of the bolts, nuts, whatever you like to call them. Get those back in situ. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 bolts on my current turbo for the Z19 DTH engine. Sure, for the Z19 DT, which is the 19130 brake that is normally in this model of Fiat. Nothing to do with me and my little adventures with power. Let's get this all bolted back up, and then I will show you the course of the piping. But first, just need a few coffee. Right, so I'd say the best way to start with this is never bolt directly one side straight to the other side. First off, get a bit of tightness in the middle. Top two middle. That's then buttoned up nice. Then I'd recommend going two bottom outer corners. That's one bottom corner there. Swap over to this bottom corner. This way it's just so that we get it perfectly flat, so it's all tightened completely flat across the block, across the deck. Obviously once you've done two bottom, so go top two middle, bottom two, top outer, and then bottom inner. And you get a nice even surface. So hopefully we ensure we don't get any exhaust leaks at all, because any exhaust leaks before the turbo will mean you don't have your boost. Top, and then it's middle, bottom. now, just to double check it all. Yeah, any last turns on there, now you've got it flatter. All of this is just to be sure you aren't going to have any leaks, any warpage from the heat. That's all good. That's one part down. Turbo's back on, so we're going to replace the EGR blank, but we're going to put some more silicone, make sure that the gasket that I had in there is perfect, all covered, there will be no leaks. Again, we'll do everything, so piping all the way down, all the way around, back to the front, through the other side, and back to the engine. And that way, I will show you everything from basically having checked your turbo, removed your turbo, reinstalled turbo, to fitting your boost pipes. Not only just normal boost pipes either, they are 3-inch setup pipes that I have done all myself. I've noticed a few people have wanted to go ahead and do it. Obviously it's a bit difficult without seeing exactly what's done, as you know, it's not a massive difference compared to your standard setup. The only thing is you've got to basically fabricate and cut all the pipes down to the right sizes, smooth them, file them, flare them, get them all so that they can accommodate all the boost again. And you've got to make sure you've got all the right angles, all the right bends, so it all coincides nicely, it all comes up. And you see obviously there's not really much of a gap to actually fit it all in. You've got to get it done just right. Right, on to the last bit now. I'll show you all the piping. Put the exhaust back on. Obviously that is a bit of a struggle, but we will do it all. We'll do it all here. Just trying to beat the rain. As you can see, it doesn't look very nice. It was really sunny a minute ago. It's been on and off. Next we'll just go straight to EGR here. Unfortunately, didn't get to show you this part because my phone died, and that's the only way I've got to film at the moment, but we'll sort that out another time. So, pardon me. Anyway, as you can see there, that's literally, I'll just explain that a little bit. It's just 2 bolts. You've got the blanking plate in between, your gasket on this side. This side doesn't overly need to be worried about unless you have all of the EGR cooler still in place, which most of you probably will. So make sure both sides of this are completely sealed, otherwise you will leak air from this side and you will leak exhaust gas from this side, meaning you will not build boost in this part. So it's quite important that that is sealed as much as possible. Sort of moving on from that, that was that install done. Obviously I wish I could have showed you that, but it died. So we're going to go from the next best part, which is take off all boots, clean them all off, which we have already got all of them off. Intercooler's still in place. It's a bit of a faff taking all that off and cleaning all that out, and to be honest, it's not really that dirty inside there. It's just mainly the pipes. It's just got a little bit of residue on this side that I will want to obviously try and mop up a little bit. At the end of the day, you're going to have oil in your pipes, so it doesn't overly matter too much as long as it's not full of oil. If it's got sort of any liquid little bits in the bottom corners or any gunk, just sort of swipe it out and you'll be fine. Just sort of clean it all as much as you can, and that'll be that. So for this part, piping, all different sizes. Well, these are all my cuts. That one there is my intake, that doesn't need to be here. So as you can see, 3-inch piping, that's quite big, a lot bigger than the standard piping. I do have some somewhere and I will go get a bit to show you the difference in size. Right, so in comparison, there you have a 3-inch elbow that I have done, and here you have a well, I think it's 2-inch out of the 2 corner elbows. And you can see that is tiny. So out of these, obviously mine relatively clean. Where I've had these off already, just need to give them a nice wipe out. So obviously what I do, get a good microfiber cloth. So I'm just going to pick up the crap. Try and put this somewhere. Right, so you just put that in, pick up all the crap in there. Just wipe the boot. Better off taking these off. So to get right through, obviously you'll see it's quite an awkward angle, quite an awkward piece to work with. So just find something bigger. Well, I used this earlier. Obviously, just sort of anything that's just going to pick up the crap. I already used this for a lot of oily stuff, so might as well use it again. You just sort of get it in there as far as you can, twist it around. Now I want to get something to push it in. So I said you just get something, push it down as far as you can. You'll notice there, that's where you probably want to remove any big boots like I have, like angled boots. They get a bit on there. Well, blast that off though. So you can see it's just there, it's clodded to come up. So you just pull, give that a good shake off, make sure any bits come off of it. You see, we're a lot cleaner. Now just do the same as we did the other way. So you put it in, twist. You don't really want to put any thinners or anything down into these because obviously that is very flammable. It's not petrol, it's not going to run off it very efficiently, it's going to try and run away with itself. So do not put anything that is flammable, extremely flammable, unless you leave it for long enough for it to evaporate and dry off. Otherwise you'll end up possibly hurting your engine. So just make sure, get as much of that in there. It's going to be good as well with these, blow them out with an airline or something. See a little bit of crap, that there is my tapped boost feed. So that's where I reference all my boost from. You could go over, give all these pipes a good polish off if you wanted. I'm not too fussed on how clean they look, to be honest. This is a big project at the moment and we're still quite early days with a lot of things. We're up quite a lot of power, no lot, but we aren't as far as we want to be. 300 brake is where we're going to be. So there, I don't know if you can see as well, that pipe is now very nice and clean. The same for this end. It's nice and clean. So that one I'm going to place up here for now. Hard up on there, part of that is the fact that you get a lot of soot come back through into your intake through the inlet. So if you have your EGR still attached, you'll use a lot more, well, you'll be burning a lot more soot, a lot more gases, so you know it'll be a little bit less of a clean burn, but you will burn more efficiently from your exhaust. Whereas when you delete the EGR and take away that extra exhaust gases going back into the inlet, you take away a lot of heat soak that doesn't need to be there. You also gain a little bit of performance from the fact that you are combusting cleaner, but again, it's negligible. You can make the same amount of power with an EGR as you can without an EGR. It is just sort of down to preference. The way I see it, an EGR causes more problems, so I'd rather get rid of it, keep it cleaner, run cleaner. No, it's a little tiny bit healthier. Right, that's another boot done. That there is a 3-inch boot to a 57mm side 90°, because otherwise I wouldn't be able to fit my big pipes up to there, as you can see. That's where it all fits, just in there nice and snug. For that one, I have here a 58 to 65mm T-bolt clamp. Obviously that you need to get into there. So this one, your boot, obviously, you know, they're going to want to be sort of like that. So you've got a bend straight that goes down in between your gearbox tunnel, in between everything here. So obviously just like so. First of all though, make sure to get your boot where you need it, because it comes a bit tight down there, so right. So obviously once that one's in place, make sure to have your other clamp over ready. I should have put this one on before, but right. So now that is all in a relatively good place. Just make sure. Obviously, slide that one down in. Get those over. Would be a lot easier if you didn't have a battery right in the way, but as we all know, you can't beat them all. So it's easier to slide that over there first. So lift my coolant hose out the way. Push my other pipe down. This is what I mean by it is a bit of a struggle. But obviously, like I said, taking your battery out will make it a lot easier. But I don't have that sort of time today. Not with the way the weather's looking. So if you need to get your arm up in there, give it a little bit of a lift. I'm going to make sure you get that clamp started over that boot as that boot's going in. So then once you get the right angle, like so. You will be able to lift and push pipe into place. Obviously, would help if I made it a little bit looser. Make sure have your 10 mil ready at hand. Make sure you got your angles in there right. As soon as you see pipe flush to each side. So for me, that would be right there. I'm gonna make sure it's completely on. Sorry about that, I lost the angle. There we go. That's that corner fully seated. I'll just tighten away. Same again with all of this. Crucial that it is as tight as possible. None of it leaks. Otherwise you will have a lot of boost leaks again. Sorry for the heavy breathing, it's a little bit tiring. Just trying to squeeze that over. So, almost tight here. Move on to cleaning another pipe. We have not beat the rain. It is now beating me. Yeah, that is nice and tight. Don't think that's going anywhere. Obviously, if you have one, you plumb back up your boost fitting. This is how we're looking. That's all clamped back up. So as we come back down here, you'll see you have the bottom of it there. Obviously, that is where this piece comes in. Now this is a 90. Obviously, one long, one short. Let's clean this out a minute. So I just sort of went ahead a little bit while it was raining a tiny bit. And got all of the pipes prepared, cleaned, ready. As you can see, all clean on the insides. That's what you want. 2 bolt clamps. So, first off, probably better to fit this one back in straight to the turbo, as I've already showed you this one, fitting that one up. And obviously that bit there, we'll get to that in a minute. So this one is for, make sure you got your 10 mil. So it's a bit more harder to see really. Prop the phone against the wheel, give you a bit of a view. Obviously, as you can see, 2 bolt clamp in place. Slide that one up and just got to turn it to where I need it. Which for me, right. Get a bit of a lie down. You can see. Just tighten that one up in place. T, look, it's getting tighter and we've got a nice amount of flex. But that T-bolt is not going anywhere. So just button that up nice and tight. T-bolt clamps are a lot better than Jubilee clamps. Get a lot more surface area, get a lot more clamp onto the actual area you're trying to grip. They're a lot more efficient. I was popping Jubilee clamps forever. Anything over 20 psi in Jubilee clips. Clamps, they don't really enjoy it too much. So there we go, that's the first corner. I'll show you a bit better. First corner ready to go in place. Obviously now you've got your big intercooler mounted here, 3-inch mounts, that's there. And now move on, T-bolt clamp. Now 2 of these, one of them is slightly longer and shorter. Shorter side, this side, slightly longer side, this side. Right, it's how we want it. So obviously just slide both the clamps over there into the middle, make it a lot easier for yourself. Obviously, get a bit on face, make sure you're in properly there, tighten it all up. Again, you want to make sure this is all very tight. Don't want none of this coming loose or coming off, especially even. This controls all your charged air, so you will lose boost pressure if you lose a clamp here at any of these points. Right, that is tight. So here I was just sort of making sure that the boot was fully over. Tighten that back down. So this one again, you know, a bit of awkward placement. Trying to find the best sort of where you just sit it, where you're not going to have too much sticking down, getting in your way. You don't want to ruin any of the piping or the bottom of the car. Make sure all that is clamped as tight as you can get them. You don't want to go too tight because you will snap them. These are still likely to snap if you go too tight. That is one complete corner from the turbo, straight down, straight into a 3-inch bend, into a big front mount. So now, only things left to do, got another corner. And we got the 90 that creates the other right angle for this. Obviously, hence there being that up there. You can see I've cleaned out all of this as well. So, first things first, obviously, we want to do this one, 90. And obviously, 90 you bring up in, make sure you've got your clamp already on the pipe. I was doing last time. That's just here, this side. So make sure seat that up fully. So slide up your other boot. If you don't want to go over, just loosen it up a bit. Once you got it loosened up enough, obviously it will just slide straight on over, no problem. Get it in a good place to work with. Make sure it's seated 100% into the boot. as you would with the rest of it. Find a good bloody place to lie. Get it in place. And clamp the shit out of it. So that's all nice and tight. Obviously, last but not least here is the next bend, shorter one. Obviously get your next 2 clamps. Before, slide them on over. Obviously, you get one. Good thing is with this side, obviously it moves a lot freer than the other side, hence you have the longer one on the other side and you put the shorter one on this side. You can see when they're flared, they're a bit difficult. Just get in, your boots over. Make sure it's fully seated. So you're going to want to turn that up a little bit because as you pull it tight, it will turn itself down. What I'm going to do is get this tight first, this side. And then I'm going to move to the other. So as you saw, that's all done, clamped up, not going anywhere, just how we want it. So obviously that is now complete. Boost pipe from the side. And again, for comparison, if you want to know how much bigger. Yeah. There we go. That is everything to the band.